Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast on a mission to inspire a world where food makes us better. Guys, yesterday was Tuesday, and for you, it might have been a regular day. But we had one of my friend's birthday celebration, and we did it on a barbecue boat. So in London, in Canary Wharf, we have a lot of channels. And so there is this company, they set up boats for people to do barbecue on. So it kind of looks like a big, I don't know, cup or a donut where you sit all around, and in the middle there is this barbecue stand and also table around that barbecue, and so you barbecue stuff and you eat stuff and you have fun while traveling across these channels, and you usually have one captain, a person who is sober and who operates the boat that is really easy to operate. And yeah, that's what we did. It was fun. The reason I'm sharing it, try new things with your friends. Don't just go to bars and restaurants and do the same old routine. Try new things. There are so many new things to try. And what did I eat? Well, we actually were quite a healthy boat. We barbecued a bunch of meat. I barbecued my salmon, like a huge pound piece of salmon. Other guys barbecued chicken, and then there was some vegan sausages, and also a lot of veg like bell peppers and tomatoes and onions, and what else? And we had a really amazing cake that I ordered from keto, low carb, but also a lot of their cakes are vegan kind of cake, and it also had all these amazing ingredients like almond flour, coconut yogurt for cream, erythritol as a sweetener, is one of the more or less are harmless for our gut bacteria. Per one serving, it actually had 10 grams of protein, and it tasted delicious. It was berry lemon, so it was amazing. The reason again why I'm sharing is, guys, reinvent your routine. You don't have to eat a ton of sugar on your birthday. You can order better cake. There are so many companies doing this these days. Also, you can make it active. Like the next birthday for one of our friends, we plan to do wakeboarding. That is kind of like water skiing, but on a board. So reinvent it. Plan something fun. Plan something active. Do better, because at the end of the day, celebration is not about alcohol, it's about having fun. And so the fun doesn't have to be with alcohol. I didn't drink anything and I had a lot of fun. Reinvent your routine, figure out how to have fun and also take care of yourself, and order a healthier cake. So that's the takeaway. Besides that, guys, I'm going to be addressing one of the issues that a lot of my clients are having. A lot of my clients come to me and they're like, I don't know what happens to me. At night I work the whole day and I end up being super hungry, and then I order some takeout, and sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's not that okay. Or I end up eating a lot of potato chips and watching Netflix or something like that. And the reason, guys, why a lot of these patterns, behaviors happen is there are two biggest reasons, and they used to happen to me to some extent. I've just never, I guess I naturally was always into self-care and a little bit more stress management. That's why I never got to this. I worked the whole day without even eating properly. But nonetheless, like a lot of my clients are having this problem, especially guys in tech, entrepreneurs who I just want to go achieve and change the world, right? I didn't have time for eating. Anyhow, this pattern keeps happening, and it happens for two main reasons. Number one, no planning. It happens because, guys, you might not have a routine. Like, you just do whatever, you wake up. Maybe for breakfast, I notice a lot of my clients, a lot of my friends and people I talk to, they have quite good breakfast routine because they plan for it, because they don't want to be ordering for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right? So for breakfast, people usually have something. Sometimes it's better, sometimes it's worse, but a lot of times, at least, it's going to be something like an oatmeal or omelette, so something with a little bit more nutrition. So breakfast tends to be kind of okay. Then for lunch, a lot of people tend to at least eat salad, but then for dinner, it's a shit show. And what happens? The reason number one, no planning. Like, if you want to improve your eating habits, if you're serious about that, you got to figure out what's your routine. If you want to order, well, why not order from meal delivery company, and they're gonna deliver you a meal every day or every other day, a meal that is healthier, that is of a better quality? Why don't do that? Why put decision to the very last and order whatever? Because also at that point, when you are exhausted after a day of work, you usually don't want to make complicated decision. You just order whatever pops up or whatever you usually order. You want to do the simplest thing. Well, one of the keys to do the simplest thing fast is pre-plan it. So again, take maybe, 30 minutes. If you need any advice, reach out. I'm more than happy to help you. So figure out where you can order a healthier meal and set up some sort of system that it's easy for you to do every day. Maybe again, it's meal delivery that's going to deliver to you meal at a certain time every day or every other day, and have a plan. Have a plan for your breakfast, for your lunch, for your dinner. So have a routine, and you'll be surprised how much less much less times you're gonna end up eating the wrong kind of stuff. So reason number one is not having a plan. Now, the reason why I am so good with my eating habits, even with, birthday celebrations, because I always have a plan. Like, I pre-plan in advance and I know what to do. And so my brain doesn't think about anything else. I didn't make decisions, especially at that low point when you're fatigued, you're tired, and you don't want to make any decisions. The later in the day you make any decisions, the worse they're going to be. That's just neuroscience. Mental fatigue sets in. Your brain has less resources and more fatigue, and you make worse decisions. So the way to better eating habits or better habits in any area of your life is planning it. Planning it in advance when you are full of energy and full of desire to get better. So that's when you want to plan it, and not just plan it, but put some execution in place. Like, if you decided that you want to have something better for dinner, okay, take some time, maybe on Monday morning or Sunday morning, pre-plan those dinners with meal delivery company or whatever that might be, or maybe do some shopping and you decide what exactly you're going to cook really fast for those dinners. Maybe cook several meals in advance on Sunday, and now you have a plan. And you're much, much, much more likely to stick with those plans, because when you have a plan, it seems the easiest thing to do, as simple as that. So this is number one. Number two, biggest reasons, but it also kind of relates to not having a routine. Number two is not having a routine that is based in a good nutritional foundation. And by that, I mean, there are many mistakes that people do who are not in, nutrition field working as a professional. So there are many mistakes that you can make, macronutrients, micronutrients, certain combinations of food. But two biggest ones are not eating enough protein through the day for your needs, for your body, and not eating enough fiber-rich vegetables and other foods like beans or things like sweet potatoes and other tubers, or those vegetables that grow underground. So not having enough protein, not having enough fiber throughout the day. That's why you need protein, not just for muscles, guys. A lot of my clients come to me and they're like, I don't want to grow muscles, so I don't care about protein. No, you do want to care about protein, because your body uses protein or amino acids for everything, from your thinking to and fueling your brain reactions, to creating hormones, to creating all sorts of antibodies if your immune system needs to work or something. for everything, guys. You need your protein for everything. And when you don't get it, you're gonna get hungry because the body needs it. This is the primary thing your body needs. Plus, everything is made of protein, like your hair, your nails, everything, not just your muscles, your bones, also your teeth, everything. So when you don't eat enough protein throughout the day, you're gonna be super hungry for dinner, for everything. It's gonna feel like you are ready to eat a whole cow. So you want to eat enough protein and enough fiber throughout the day, because why fiber? It feeds your gut. Guys, you have 10 trillions at least bacteria there, and it's a living organism. And when they're hungry, you're going to be hungry. And if you don't eat enough fiber, you're going to be hungry always, and probably not going to be eating what your gut bacteria needs in the first place, fiber-rich vegetables, and you're going to end up eating all sorts of crap just because you don't feed that gut bacteria. So those are two main mistakes that at the same time might address all the other mistakes. So let's talk about protein, guys. You want to eat enough protein, and not just in the evening, but also throughout the day, because that's when you're most active. That's when you want to help your brain to work and your whole body to work, and you don't want to be super hungry for dinner. So that's why you want to be eating your protein early in the day too. And how much protein? Let's say you are a 75 kilo guy, or about, I don't know, what is it, like 160 pounds or 160, 170. So let me talk about in kilograms first, and then I'll try to figure out the pounds. So because I'm from Russia, we measure things in kilograms there. Now I'm in UK. Here, I still don't understand what they measure it in. I think it's kind of mixed. In US, pounds, kilograms. If you're a 75 kilo guy, you need to multiply that number by 2 to 1.8 to 2. I recommend going for 2. If your weight is more or less normal, you're not obese, because for obesity it's a little bit different. So multiply that by 2, that's going to be 150. So 150 grams of protein you need to get from your foods. Sometimes supplementation is also quite a good way to add a little bit more protein. To give you an idea of what it means, one egg has about 6 grams of protein. So if you want to hit 1/3 of your protein for breakfast, you gotta eat about 150 grams. And if you don't use any like protein shakes or anything, and you don't want to use it, you want to eat whole foods. So eating 2 eggs or 3 eggs, it's not enough. It's just 18 grams of protein total, right? Chicken breast is one of the richest sources of protein per bite. So per 100 grams, chicken breast would have 31 grams of protein. That's why all the bodybuilders eat so many chicken breast. It's because it is so rich in protein. Beef, for comparison, average cuts, lean cuts, we have about 26 grams per 100 grams or per 3 ounces. What else? Salmon, 20 grams per 3 ounces or 100 grams. And then cod, leaner fish, would have even less, about 18 grams per 3 ounces or 100 grams. So if you decide to, let's say, eat chicken breast for breakfast, then you're gonna eat about like 170 grams, and that's gonna be all the protein for breakfast. And in order not to be super hungry for dinner, in order to eat sufficient protein to maintain high quality brain performance, also to build all the body structures, and also maintain good amount of lean muscle, guys, you want to be consuming that amount of protein, and you want to distribute it throughout the day to be not hungry for dinner and to be working at your highest level of capacity. So 50 grams of protein per meal is a good amount. If you're an athlete, then multiply that at least by 2.2. That actually comes from sports research, different organizations. So that's what they recommend for athletes, to get at least 2.2 per kilogram of body weight. Sometimes even more. So, but 2.2 for athletes. For other guys, usually, and women, athletic women, about 2 grams. For women, sometimes it's a little bit less because we have less muscle mass and a little bit more fat naturally everywhere. So for women, it might be like 1.7, 1.8. And if you are in pounds, so your body weight in pounds, so let's say 160, you probably want to multiply that by by maybe not 1, maybe more like 0.8, 0.9 of grams of protein per 1 pound of your body weight. For women, about maybe 0.7, 0.8. Again, for guys, maybe closer to 1. Athletes, maybe 1.1, 1.3 grams of protein per pound of body weight. But if you want better conversion, I do know information better in kilograms. So kilograms multiplied by 2, that's going to be the amount of protein you need. For an average guy, it's about 150 grams for an average woman. It's about 120 grams. And then figure out how to distribute it and eat more of it actually for breakfast and for lunch. And then for dinner, you're going to be much, much less hungry. Again, I told you what, for example, a chicken breast has about 31 grams of protein per 100 grams of chicken breast, or 3 ounces. Then we have beef with 26 grams of protein. Then we have salmon that is also quite high, 20 grams. One egg is just 6 grams of protein, right? Unless you may be using some also egg white liquid to add a little bit more protein. That's why, a lot of people also supplement at least with 1 serving of good quality protein powder. Yogurt very, very depends on the brand and on the kind. If you take an average yogurt, it would have per cup 150 grams or 5 ounces. It would have about 8-9 grams of protein, and it's going to be considered to be a high protein because it can also have like 5-6 grams of protein per cup. So that's when it comes to dairy products. What else do you have? All the beans, all the vegan sources like tofu, tempeh, but also beans, nuts, they don't have that much protein and they vary a lot. So lentils are the highest in protein, for example, having, I believe, 15-16 grams of protein per cup of cooked lentils. But again, every bean, every lentil is different. So look it up, Google, for example, black beans, grams of protein. But keep in mind that you need to specify whether that's for dried beans or cooked beans, because obviously cooked beans absorb a lot of water and they occupy much, much more space. So you'll have much less protein per cup of cooked lentils compared to cup of dried lentils. So details matters when it comes to cooking your beans and lentils. Nuts and seeds, they would have, some protein, but also a lot of fat. So not such a good protein source, really. And then tofu, tempeh, it depends. So look up your specific tofu or tempeh, because I think the softer tofu is, the less protein it has. So just look at the nutritional label and see how much it has per serving or per 100 grams or 3 ounces, whatever that might be. And make sure to consume enough protein for breakfast, for lunch, and then for dinner. You're going to be less hungry. And plus, with all this protein you eat during the day, you're going to be able to make better decisions for what to have for dinner. Plus, you're not going to be that hungry. So the chance that you're going to end up eating some crap, the chances are much, much less. But don't forget about number 1, routine and planning. The reason why I mentioned it as number 1, because routine and planning will eliminate almost all of your bad habits. When you pre-plan it, you will always do better. Like you'll always do better. The reason, again, for you guys that you might not have a routine, maybe you never thought it's important. If you are young, you might not have as many problems, but when you're around 40s, that's when actually a lot of my clients start coming to me after like 35, they start accumulating problems, health and performance and weight, and sometimes also immunity, they start getting sick much more often. And that's when okay, now I have to take care of my nutrition if I want to perform at a high level. But guys, your performance already is suffering if you are not eating enough protein, if you are not having any nutrition routine, and you end up eating some crap at the end of your day. You are already suffering, even though you might not recognize it consciously just yet. So main takeaways, guys. Plan to improve any of your area of growth, but especially your eating habits, your health habits, your nutrition, your fitness. Plan. Take time, plan and take actions on those plans, so you don't need to do any work implementing that plan later when you don't have energy, or you don't have mental capacity to make any decisions. So plan. And number 2, eat your protein. Again, for an average guy of 75 kilos or about 160 pounds of body weight, kilograms, you want to consume about 2 grams of protein per 1 kilogram of body weight. So 75 kilos is going to be about 150 grams of protein. And if you are about 160, 170 pounds, that's probably also a good idea. For women, it's usually a little bit less, just because we carry a little bit less muscle mass with the same height or the same body weight. And that's about it, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out as usual, and I'm gonna do all the mathematics for you. I love numbers, and it's super easy for me to do. Share this episode with anyone who is struggling with their eating habits or hungry all the time. Share this episode with them. Make sure that they do know how to eat enough protein. Another thing, I'm gonna be creating a video on my Instagram, so follow that. There's gonna be a video about protein and more about calculating it and getting it from different foods. It's going to be super short, super useful, so stay tuned on Instagram. And that's it for today, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Start eating your protein and planning better eating routine at night. And as usual, till next time, eat better daily.